We were joined now by Representative Anthony Brown. Anthony, let's start with this. What is the latest on gun reform legislation on the national level?
Sure. First of all, Jeff, let me say that it's long overdue with the mass shootings that we see, particularly, in the last several weeks. Buffalo, Uvalde, even since Uvalde in Texas, we've had 13 plus mass shootings in this country. And it's time for Congress to act. Far too many lives are being stripped from their families, our communities, and the impacts are devastating. So there are a number of things that we're doing on Capitol Hill. Just yesterday, the House Judiciary Committee moved a package of legislation. And in that includes a bill that I sponsored 3 years ago that's finally getting some traction. And that's to raise the age that a person needs to be to buy a semi-automatic rifle. We're going to raise it from 18 to 21. It's hard to believe that an 18-year-old can buy a semi-automatic rifle. Under federal law already, you've got to be 21 to buy a handgun. So we're going to raise the age. We'll do a few other things, some of them that have already been done in Maryland, like limiting the capacity of magazines that hold the bullets, the rounds. We're going to ban bump stocks. We're going to ban ghost guns. Again, we've done that in Maryland. And also a standard for safe storage of firearms. So that's going to be on the House floor when Congress returns next week.
You mentioned some of the things on the state level, too. It's been 20 years since Columbine has taken place. With the mass shootings that we have seen, what other things need to happen to prevent future tragedies?
Sure. Look, no one state can fix the problem. There does need to be federal legislation, but I really am proud of the steps that we've taken in Maryland, right? We've got a fingerprint-based background check. We have limited the types of semi-automatic rifles that someone can buy, but there's more that has to happen in Maryland. We have a red flag law. We have to expand that to include teachers and school personnel. When they see someone that they believe would do danger to themselves, to others, they should be able to report that to the authorities so that we can take a closer look at them. Also, I'm calling for not a limited restriction on semi-automatic rifles. I'm calling for a complete ban on semi-automatic centerfire rifles. Those are the assault weapons that were used in Buffalo, in Parkland, Florida, in Sandy Hook, and recently in Uvalde. We just got to take them off our streets. So that's what I'm hoping to see in the Maryland legislature the next time that they convene.
What can regular citizens do to protect themselves and also to protect their kids?
Sure. The first thing is to be vigilant. And when you see signs of trouble or potential trouble, if you have concerns about a family member or a neighbor or a coworker, I know sometimes it's hard because you don't want to sort of like get out in front and suggest that somebody's going to do something that they might not do. But I think in this day and age, and what we've seen in many of these mass shootings, where when you talk to neighbors and family members, they say, I thought I saw a sign of trouble. So I certainly encourage people to just notify someone. A teacher should notify a principal, who should notify law enforcement. A parent should notify a law enforcement and just talk through with them. Hey, this is what I'm seeing. Is this a real concern? So see something, as they say something. That's certainly something that we should all take to heart.
And lastly, what message would you have for communities that have suffered acts of violence, such as what just happened in Uvalde?
First of all, my heart goes out to those communities, those families. My family, we lost a family member, my cousin Kathy, now almost 15 years ago. She was 40 years old. She was shot and killed by her estranged boyfriend. So my heart goes out to these families. I understand their suffering and their loss, but I would say stay engaged. There are a lot of organizations there that certainly can help them with counseling and making it through these difficult times. But I'd also encourage them to turn their tragedy into triumph for others. And what do I mean by that? There are organizations like Everytown for Gun Safety and Moms Demand Action, the Brady Campaign, Gabby Gifford's organization. Join them. They're doing important things at the grassroots level, peaceful protesting and rallies, writing letters, engaging your members of Congress, your state legislatures, your local elected officials. So stay engaged. And even through the discouragement, through the bereavement, this country can do better, and it eventually will do better, but it'll take all of us to stay engaged.
Congressman Brown, thank you for the time.
Okay, Jeff, thank you for covering this very important issue.